women's rugby is a growing sport. It's doing very well overseas. What attracted you to it? How did you get started?
So for me, I was always really sporty growing up. I played every sport going, like the regular sort of netball, hockey, athletics at school. And I think I was a little bit too competitive to stay on a netball court. I kept getting, I played basketball, kept getting fouls, kept getting sent off. So eventually found myself on a rugby pitch where it was a little bit more acceptable to sort of push people around a bit. So
it's a natural fit for your personality then, eh?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it ever since. Yeah, I picked up at university, and that was 8 years ago now, or 7 years ago. So yeah, absolutely loving it and made it to where I am now.
So you talk about kind of like the physicality of it and, the intensity of it's certainly not netball, is it? Let's be honest. So how do you prepare yourself, before you go into a match for, to be bashed around, to be bashing people around? How do you set yourself up for it?
I think the netballers might get angry with you about that one. I've heard some scary stories from netball. I didn't play it myself. I'm Gaelic football background, so it's tricky. So similar kind of routes into rugby, we were a bit too aggressive. But yeah, preparing yourself for, for example, last weekend we had a really tough physical battle against Saracens. We probably felt like they bet us to the physical intensity a little bit across a lot of aspects of that game, which is one of the main reasons we lost. And we came out only losing by 7 points in the end, but you can't expect to win a game of rugby if you aren't winning those physical battles, and that could be right across the scrum, the maul, and kind of all of the technical areas. But tackling people like Tricky is always a really good... Tricky, Tricky's the tackling menace in Chiefs. So you prepare yourself kind of during the week by just getting your technical detail really on point against people who are technically excellent, which we have a lot of them in Chiefs.
So you talk about kind of your training leading up to it and preparing yourself mentally. Some professional sports people, probably most professional sports people, have a little ritual, something that they always do before a match or the night before, whether it's a bowl of pasta or they put on a particular shirt the night before, or they wear something under their socks or their kit. Do you have any rituals like that?
I'm not too big into rituals. I am a bit like, I think, psycho about hair. I'm the platter on the team. I have to have my own hair plaited. It's like putting on my war braids,
right,
getting ready to go out to battle. And I like to get other girls' hair ready as well, because I like them to feel comfortable. And tying up your hair is a pain on the pitch the whole time. So in particular, I do cleats, I do clods, I do a few of the girls, and that kind of settles me coming into a game. So I guess if that's my pre-match ritual, is getting people's hair ready.
Does anyone else have one?
I didn't used to, and now I have a specific pair of underwear that I have to wear. It's sports bra and pants, and I have to wear them, and it stresses me out quite a lot if I don't have that particular pair.
Can we clarify for anybody listening that you wash in between matches?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I do wash them.
Brilliant. I'm very pleased to hear that. Well, yourself, do you have any kind of pre-match ritual, or?
I would like to have, yeah, if I don't have my hair done by Tricky, it probably is a bit of a pain, but I think as a household we usually eat pancakes the morning of a game, and if we're away and we can't get those, that might be something that, changes, or we try and make them the night before. But yeah, we'd always have a big feed of pancakes and fruit and Biscoff spread and all those nice things on match day morning.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So the three of you said that, you came along together to Exeter Chiefs. You must have some really strong core memories with one another. Is there any kind of, anything that really sticks out? What's your most memorable moment together that is safe for this family environment?
We've got some really good ones on the pitch, I think, where, like Clea was saying before, Tricky's a bit of a tackling menace. So you come up against some good teams that particularly have got very good fly halves. So you're looking like the likes of Saracens, and you're going to Tricky before the game going, I just need you to kill the 10 all game. And you can see Tricky lining them up, every phaser play, lining them up, and she just comes out the line, absolutely wallops them onto their back, and they're getting up, pulling themselves up off the ground, and you're like, yeah, nice, go again, Tricky, go again. Which is quite fun. It's nice to have someone on your team like that you can kind of send after someone.
So, you mentioned there how you, between the three of you, you lift each other up on the pitch and presumably at home as well, getting yourself prepared beforehand. Is there anything that, the fans have done during your time at Exeter that you've thought, do you know what, yeah, we're going to go out and do it for them?
Yeah, like the fans have been brilliant. Actually, Bristol away were just for the cup semi-final. We may as well have been at a home venue, because when you looked across the stand, it was Chiefs flags everywhere. I'm pretty sure I heard early on in the week as well that they put up a picture from an old game because there was too many Chiefs fans in the stands to
hide them out.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so the support has been brilliant, I guess.
And it's a big commitment to follow a team to away as well. Do you think
Yeah.
just seeing, having people who are there, full stop, you see the same faces week in, week out?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, someone who's new to the club, I'm already very familiar with some of the fans, and then seeing them come up to the away games, almost apologising that they can't come to some home games. And you're like, you're doing brilliant already. That the fact that we recognise you week in, week out, come to games. So I think it's a community vibe. It's you feel local. You feel part of you feel really part of the club. So you're kind of doing it for the community.
Brilliant. Now, you've mentioned Saracens a few times there. Is that the team that you really like going up against? Is it somebody else who you think, I can't wait till we've got that person in 2 weeks, and you see the match schedule and you think, come on, let's have them?
Yeah, I definitely. It's always been Saracens, even at other clubs. I think every club up and down the country, I think, doesn't like Saracens. So, men's and women's rugby, I think they're always the one to go and get. But for us this year, and probably in the West Country as well, we've got a bit of a rivalry coming up with Gloucester. They've just taken the first place spot off us after we unfortunately lost to Saracens last weekend. We can still get it back before the end of this year. We play them in the last game of the league, so that's really developed itself into a well-known rivalry. And I think Susie, our head coach, used to coach up in Gloucester, so that's kind of an added bite to that fixture. And we've had some tit-for-tat ones this year. We beat them in the cup and they beat us in the league at home. So our plan is, at the last league game of the season, go up there and take first place spot off them away from home. Hopefully we get another Chiefs bus. As Tricky said, we had a Chiefs bus go of supporters up to Bristol, and it really did change the game for us.
Just having that kind of that raw, that your supporters there have followed you, must be really uplifting for you. Now, we spoke about earlier kind of the memories that you've made on the pitch and so on. Is there anything, kind of on that bus that you're travelling to? Is there any kind of things that go on there? Is it headphones on and you're focusing? Is there somebody who's just irritating you with the boombox going on? Is this, I'm guessing from the laugh potentially, who's controlling the playlist? What's the song on the bus?
I think we've got a bit of a crazy Aussie in the team, Laurie Kramer. So she's always bringing her boombox around with her, and it literally is a boombox. So that comes on the bus. She gets all the music going, gets everyone hyped up, even if you don't want to be, because you might be travelling up the day before. But yeah, the bus is generally a lot of fun. And then on the way back, there's always lots of games being played. And then everybody has sort of like set seats, which is quite funny. You go in, you sit in your exact same spot every time with the same people, probably play the same games, and hopefully, I think in the last away game things got a little bit too competitive the night before a game, just literally playing card games, and the team sort of fell out with each other and had to go to bed a bit grumpy. So perhaps we avoid anything too competitive the night before the game.
Now, are you going to fall out when you get back to the ground or in the group WhatsApp later? You've been on this Perfect Pass challenge, and you've beaten Ailey and Brooke today. You had 19 and 15 between them. So, come on, are you going to be rubbing their noses in it, or?
Absolutely. I think, yeah, definitely. There's always competition between us. Everyone wants to be the best one at everything. So, yeah, definitely.
And now, you're going to hang around for a little bit, aren't you? And you're going to stay on the Perfect Pass. And I think we've got a racing simulator in the corner there if you want to have a go. It's the British Touring Car Championships. And you can see the Champions car over here in the corner, sponsored by Bristol Street Motors. How long are you going to hang around for, and can people come along and have a little chat and get some photos with you?
That's kind of why we wanted to come early, because we want to have a look at the rest of the stalls later on today. Myself and Claude will be heading off a bit earlier than Clee maybe, so we've got some gym to do, but we'll be around, yeah, and happy, come up and talk to us, get pictures, happy to facilitate.
Excellent. Now, I just have to ask, we're obviously on the Bristol Street Motors and the Virtue Motors stand. Have you had a look at the programme? Is there anything else that's really, speaking to you that you want to go see? Personally, it's the Giant Tortoise.
There's a Giant Tortoise?
There's a Giant Tortoise. It's over by the alpacas. What a duo that is.
All of that. I want to see that, to be honest. I heard some horseshoeing going on earlier, which sounded very noisy, so I might poke my head in there. And Darts Farm, I can see floating around in Greendales. I love those farm shops, so probably going around finding some nice food, to be honest.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
That's it.
Do you want to keep going?
Yeah. No, that's all. You don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay, fabulous.
Excellent. Well, you're going to hang around for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You're going to help people out with the perfect pass. And yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much. Come challenge us on the passing. See if you can beat our scores.